Hello, everyone. This is your girl, Brita Filter, one of the national co-chairs of Drag Out the Vote. First and foremost, I want to say happy Pride to everyone out there. Thanks to the work of trans women of color, especially Sylvia Rivera and Marsha P. Johnson, we celebrate June as Pride Month, where we can celebrate the LGBTQ plus community and all the progress we've made. At the same time, Pride Month is also used to draw attention to the fight we still face. This year in particular, we have seen a massive rollback in both voting rights and trans rights. Yet we do have champions fighting for us in state houses across the country and in our nation's capital. And one of those champions, honey, today joins me as Secretary of State of California. Alex Padilla was the first Secretary of State to endorse our mission at Drag Out the Vote. His support put us on the map, honey. In December of 2020, Alex Padilla was announced as the successor of Vice President Kamala Harris and now serves as senator from the great state of California. So please welcome United States Senator Alex Padilla.
Thank you,
Hello.
Brandon. That's awesome. That's awesome. You got to go with me to all the events I'm going to be doing as we're reopening.
Absolutely. I will
Great.
be your hype girl.
And happy Pride, everybody. We know there's a lot going on, a lot to celebrate, and a lot of work to do. So glad to be in it together.
Yes, absolutely. So let's just jump into it. As Secretary of State, you supported the expansion of voting rights, and in particular, you supported new and innovative ways of voting due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now you are fighting to pass the For the People Act. Now, what exactly will the For the People Act do?
So, For the People Act is one of the measures that's working its way through Congress right now, and actually passed by the House of Representatives already, but stuck in the Senate because of a filibuster rule, frankly. But it's so needed because what the For the People Act would do is create uh, ensure basic access to be able to vote for all voters in America by implementing certain reforms that we did in California. To your point, making it easier for people to register to vote, whether it's in person, by mail, online, automatically at the DMV if you're renewing your driver's license, for example, or even same-day registration if you missed any other deadlines. It also would provide multiple options for how people vote. If you want to wait till election day, that's fine. If you want to vote early, you would have that option too for several days before the election. Or if you want to vote by mail, which is an increasingly popular option, in California, we've shown that it works. Yes, it's secure, but allows more people to participate, which is what democracy is all about. And if we pass the For the People Act, the president signs it, every voter in America would enjoy those options and those protections.
Absolutely. It's so important to make people aware of the common misconceptions surrounding election protection. Now, what would you say to voters who are unfortunately buying into this whole misinformation that voting is not secure, despite the fact that we know that voter fraud is incredibly rare?
Yeah, no, I think the first thing I'd say is, check your sources, and you can't believe everything you see on social media. So if you want to know the facts, like you said, voter fraud is exceedingly rare in the United States. And frankly, the measures that I just talked about, the automatic registration, the vote by mail, that actually makes our elections more secure. So we need to be supportive of that. And check your sources, don't amplify bad information, and choose to participate. I think when more people are registered, more people are voting, you have more confidence in the system because you have participated and you know what it's like.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree. I want to jump into an issue that covers both voting and trans rights, because voting while trans is incredibly difficult. Voter ID laws, in particular, can hold up a trans person's right to vote, as their ID may not match their physical appearance and sometimes use the wrong name. How would the For the People Act advance the causes of our trans siblings?
Yeah, well, first, let me make a special plug for something that we did in partnership last year with Drag Out the Vote and Equality California. We added specialized training for poll workers to be more aware, be more conscious, and frankly, be more helpful to trans voters who chose to vote in person because the law is clear. If you're 18 years or older and a citizen, with minimal exception, you have the right to vote. So we should be facilitating voting, not making it harder. And I think the For the People Act certainly helps in similar regards by providing for more options, not just to register, to update registration if you need to, not just change name or address or what have you, but also in how we can vote. When we vote early, we spread the voting out over several days and reduce the lines, which makes it easier for poll workers to be of proper assistance to voters who vote in person, or to expand opportunities to vote by mail. It's actually more convenient and increasingly popular, and we don't even have to deal with any issues that you might encounter at the polls. You get your ballot at home, you fill it out, mail it in, drop it off, and you're good to go.
You, that's exactly right. Something that we know will advance trans equality and will also work in tandem with the For the People Act is the Equality Act. Now, can you explain to people that are watching why is it important? Why is the Equality Act important, and how does it advance our democracy?
Yeah, look, I think my support for the Equality Act began years ago, and I'm proud to be in the Senate now, where we're trying to advance it. We had a hearing on the Equality Act for the first time in history in the Senate Judiciary Committee just a handful of weeks ago. And here's how I explain it to other allies, because this is how I was taught. For all the celebration around marriage equality, and that was a big deal. Remember the day the Supreme Court announced its decision upholding marriage equality. That was worthy of celebration, but also a harsh reminder that while anybody can still love and marry who they love, that didn't protect us from discrimination in the workplace, in public accommodations, in housing, in so many other areas of our society. And so it's important to update our civil rights protections to be inclusive of trans and with the entire LGBTQIA community. So that's what the Equality Act seeks to do, and I'm a proud co-sponsor of it. And we're just, going to bat in the United States Senate, trying to line up the votes to get it to the president's desk and get it signed into law.
Yes, thank you for everything you're doing with that. Now, I think it's a common problem that many people face. Certainly, what we face at Drag Out the Vote is how do we affect change? It's so important. What is the most effective way for folks to show their support for the For the People Act and for the Equality Act?
Yeah, well, I think it begins by each of us doing our part as citizens and communicating to your representatives. Doesn't matter if you're in a red state, a blue state, who your member of Congress or your senator is, they need to hear from you, and they need to hear from a whole lot of us to make sure that we're pushing. For representatives who are already on board, we should say thank you. For those who aren't, we need to keep the pressure on them, let them know that it's their own constituents that they need to represent when they're taking these positions and casting their vote. So that's step one. Step two, no doubt, between Drag Out the Vote and a whole lot of other advocacy organizations, activist groups, there's events, there's virtual events, there's going to be marches as we're reopening from COVID, and so many other ways to make your voice heard and to demonstrate to the public and again to Congress that this is where the American people stand. This is what we all deserve. We need to support the Equality Act.
Yes, put the pressure on them. That's right. That's amazing. I absolutely love this information. Now, but I'm a drag queen, so I know about the power of social media. So I just wanted to take a second and want you to plug your socials for everyone. Where can they follow you? Where they can hear more important work that you're doing to advance voting rights and equality for all?
Yes, follow us and help amplify on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. It's at Senator Padilla, and we're working together. We're gonna raise the roof. We're gonna shout from the rooftops, and we're gonna get this done.
I love it. I love it. It's truly an honor to have talked to you today. I'm so honored. And are there any closing last words that you'd like to say?
I guess if anything, just again, thank you all for taking in this information, acting on this information, and because of the last year and a half that we've all been through, my gosh, hang in there. Thank you for doing your part, getting vaccinated if you've been vaccinated. If not, what are you waiting for? You need to make your appointment, get your shot, protect yourself, protect your loved ones, and that's the only way we're going to be able to completely not just reopen the economy, but get back to the normalness of being able to see each other, hug each other, be with each other, and make life better for all of us.
Yes, thank you so much, Senator Padilla. And listen, next time I see you, I'll give you a big old hug.
Oh, please do. I'm ready. I'm ready.